Good afternoon, almost afternoon, late morning. I realize I'm the last thing standing in the way between now and lunch, so I'll try to be quick. I wanted to ask you guys, did you know that Rome wasn't built in a day? Does that sound familiar? Anyone know where that proverb came from? The origin was that of a French poem, and the adage teaches us that we should be persistent towards our objective. We can't and shouldn't rush to success, but rather be patiently assertive to achieve it. Patiently assertive to achieve it? That sounds difficult. In a world filled with instant gratification, waiting for anything can seem impossible. Hungry? No problem, Uber Eats. Thirsty? DoorDash or Instacart. Wardrobe supplies, household food, cat food, kitty litter? Amazon. We are living in an age where attainment of materials is almost instantaneous. In this day and age, time really does seem to fly. It can be painful to wait for anything. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure what's longer, a minute on the treadmill or a microwave minute. I guess it depends on how hungry I am, and right now I'm pretty hungry. The speed or time it takes to complete a task within the VA is always an interesting discussion. The VA speedometer often runs slower than anyone would like, with a few exceptions. Surprisingly, there are a few program offices who remain effective at pushing healthcare innovation forward at warp speed. We'll get to those program offices in a moment. You see, if we as VA want our nation's veterans to choose us, in order for us to remain relevant, we need to stay agile. To stay agile, we need to understand healthcare innovation in a way that allows direct import of technology and improve relationships with key program offices. We need to collaborate. With healthcare competition at its finest, we need to do better and fast. How do we do it? Together, by being assertive when necessary and patient when needed. So what does that really look like? Anyone have kids? With teenagers, we often have to reach deep into our every being to remain patient. You know, like teaching them how to drive. As adults, we recognize the need to remain patient so that they learn the skill successfully. Turn your blinker on before you merge. Yet we have to be assertive enough not to allow them or the car harm. In a work environment similar to teaching our kids to drive, there are instances in which we must be patient while learning a new skill and establishing a relationship, yet assertive enough to get things done. I mentioned program offices who work at warp speed. I want to highlight those program offices now. I've had the great privilege as part of my Entrepreneur in Residence Fellowship to act as a liaison between the Office of Healthcare Innovation and Learning and the Office of Connected Care. My assignment was to continue to support remote thermal monitoring solutions for the enterprise while helping to establish the long-term infrastructure for remote patient monitoring. Two similar tasks, yet very different scopes. Remote temperature monitoring is a type of remote patient monitoring technology that predicts foot ulcers through detection and temperature asymmetry. In VA, a very well-established program with known stakeholders. Versus remote patient monitoring, the umbrella term that encompasses the technology for patient monitoring, less established with undefined program ownership. How many of you had a similar experience? Two projects, one well-defined, the other not so much, both of equal importance. Makes things tricky in terms of task prioritization. I had to remain agile enough to pivot back and forth between the two priorities, patient enough to allow time for progress, and assertive when there wasn't enough action. Understanding how to work with one another as humans seems challenge enough. At the largest integrated healthcare agency in the country, coupled with extreme pandemic fatigue, scrambling to fill the shoes following the Great Resignation, all while transitioning to a new electronic healthcare record, and no one wants to talk to anyone about anything, let alone collaborate. Yet we need to be assertive to achieve it. So how did we do that? We leveraged existing remote temperature monitoring success and learned from our failures in order to remove patient monitoring forward. We prioritized collaborating with people who saw tremendous value in our innovation rather than focusing our efforts on those with less interest. Change can be unsettling for leadership because no one wants to take the risk of failure, and that's okay, I get it. Ideally, in a controlled environment, we can start small and fail small. In the case of remote temperature monitoring solutions, we were well beyond the small phase. We obtained approval for new stop codes, presented to governance councils, wrote guidance documents, read federal registers. Our goal was widespread national diffusion. For remote patient monitoring, we were still in the development phase and we needed national program support. We knew this wasn't a drag race. It was and remains a cross-country road trip. The unwritten success of our collaborations were the relationships we built within and across program offices. We are all in this journey together. We really are reimagining veteran healthcare. My collaborators and I understood when to be assertive and how to be patient. If we want VA to be the first choice in healthcare for our nation's veterans, we must get out of our own way. We are innovating at a rate no private healthcare can compete. We have the existing telehealth infrastructure to scale, and we've worked hard to establish the long-term budget and procurement pathways for remote patient monitoring solutions. We continue to innovate and will assertively push healthcare innovation forward at warp speed. We will be patient with one another as we collaborate in the wake of a global pandemic. We will drive innovation forward together. You have the ability to change your collaborative path. Sometimes the road towards your final destination may be fraught with detour. Be patient with the road ahead. As the Romans did, VA will continue to build and improve upon our empire. After all, it wasn't built in a day. Thank you.